Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need.
Hello everyone! Welcome to Makati Girls Club, your weekly dose of girl talk and everything in between for the modern Filipina who's conquering Makati one step at a time. I'm your host, Ira, and I'm so excited to have you with us today. So this episode is gonna be our usual chikahan. We will let you in our daily conversations and I hope you get some takeaways. By conversations, gusto natin na makapagbigay ng space itong show para sa mga makabuluhang usapan na naririnig natin sa mga office pantry or comfort room. Yung mga usapan during short interactions with office colleagues, maiksing kwentuhan pero pahinga sa napakahabang araw sa opisina. As part of our show, we'll have Makati Boss Ladies where we will be chatting with a young professional, a total boss lady who's making a name for herself in the communications industry. After that, we're diving deep into some money matters. We'll be discussing everything from budgeting to saving, all tailored specifically for ambitious young female professionals like you. And finally, we'll wrap things up in our girl talk. We'll be discussing work-life balance, something I hope a lot of us can relate to. Grab your drinks, ladies. We have a jam-packed show lined up for you. Now it's time for the segment we've all been waiting for, Makati Boss Ladies. In this segment, we're sitting down with Earl, a communications lead at the Department of Trade and Industry. Welcome, Earl. We're excited to have you here. Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Hello, Ira. I'm Earl, and I graduated with a degree in Bachelor of Arts, major in Political Science from San Beda University. So actually, this is my first job ever since I started back in January 2023. Ever since I landed this role at the Department of Trade and Industry, I've been staying here in Makati given the bulk and the demands of the work, so I wouldn't be able to afford na living beyond the borders of Makati. Then more of a little bit of background about my role. Now I'm currently serving as the communications specialist of the Trade and Industry Secretary. So basically everything that concerns her communications from social media to traditional media practices. Now in our division, we're basically 9 in a team, and I'm currently co-managing with our head those juniors under us.
That introduction was really for you guys since I am with Earl 24/7. Share lang namin sa inyo, kami ni Earl, magkatrabaho kami sa DTI. Diba sabi nila bibihira maging magkaibigan ang magkatrabaho kasi iba-iba tayo ng work ethics and malaki yung chance na hindi tayo magkaintindihan. Pero itong si Early, ilan to sa mga nakilala ko na same kami sa work ethics, tas goods pa kami as friends.
True.
So, bago tayo magsimula, gusto ko lang din i-emphasize na talagang mahalaga itong topic natin ngayon about career, Earl. Kasi sabi ng UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, mas magiging mahirap ang job employment this year. Mas maraming unemployed, and to make matters worse, it's still way harder for young people and women to land a job. That leads to my first question, Earl. After college, can you tell us paano mo nakuha yung first job mo and your position right now?
Okay. So basically, even before graduation, I was actually offered a job in a local government unit. So, hearing the perks from my professor when he first offered the job, it was really quite enticing. Especially, we all know that it's not easy to find a job. Pero if you look at it, I'll be staying far away from family. So, I live in Valenzuela City, then my job will be in Cavite. Then the compensation is quite the salary is quite near the minimum. So medyo mababa siya for although yes, it's a starting point of our careers, pero we all know naman given this kind of economy na it's really hard to work around that tight budget. So I respectfully declined that offer. Then I got a message from my professor. I think that was in October. And then he asked me if I am up for a job because his former student, which was my head for about a year, was actually looking for a technical writer that will assist her in her everyday duties. So, and then my former head, Miss Jayza, she reached out to me via Messenger. Then we exchanged information, CV. She even asked me to do a lot of exam. Basically, my exam took about 4 hours before I landed this job. And then, when, after that was the final interview, and then here I am, still, on the same team, on the same department, but now having much more roles and bigger responsibilities, since now I'm directly reporting to the Trade and Industry Secretary. So, communications with a little bit part of an executive support, I would say.
So, Earl, you've mentioned that you graduated from political science, but now you're in communications. Di naman masyadong magkaiba, pero I guess meron pa ring differences. Curious lang ako if ano yung mga specific projects na tingin mo medyo nag-merge yung dalawang fields and nakatulong sa'yo yung educational background mo on pol sci.
Actually, I think on the writing aspect, medyo different. Because when we talk about communications, it's about conveying messages in the simplest term that readers would understand. Pero that's very different from political science because we specialize on technical writing. So basically, dapat kasi pag graduate ka ng course na to, most likely you're inclined on doing legislations or being basically a political analyst, analyzing political landscapes. So in political science jargons. Pero dito, it would be applicable because I didn't have to adjust to the terms that I'm hearing. It's not my first time hearing that terms. And of course, we also have an aspect of media relations. So when you're pol sci, we have been taught to know how to speak confidently in public. So that's also a huge aspect of it. So whenever you talk with media partners, you always have to show your confidence because again, you are not just representing yourself, you're representing the department, and if you're working with the secretary, you're basically representing him as well then in some aspect whenever you talk with external stakeholders.
So yun yung mga similarities I can say dun sa dalawang fields. Ano naman yung struggle mo naman working in comms when you're from pol sci?
Okay, so dati, when I was new, grabe, sobrang haba ng PRs ko. As in, more than 2 pages. And that's a sin in communications kasi wala namang mahabang span of attention yung readers mo. And yun nga, again, we are trained to write in a technical way na dapat naman as a writer, you have to know how to communicate the basic things on the most simplest term. So, dati talaga, I can remember my first ever press release. Halos walang natira dun sa edits nung naging editor namin kasi it was an overhaul. Pero yun nga, it's quite challenging pero also rewarding at the same time, I would say.
So, hearing those, Earl, yung mga experiences mo from getting your job and then actually working in the Department of Trade and Industry, ngayon naman, ang question ko sa'yo, anong mga skills or qualities do you believe na essential sa success in the communication industry?
First and foremost, I would say adaptability. Because you talk with different kinds of people every day. You talk with executives, you talk with staff, you talk with external stakeholders, media, and you have to deal with them differently. So, iba yung way how you talk with the bosses. Iba din yung patience when you're dealing with media personnel since lagi silang maraming tanong. And that's because it's part of their job. So, if you're talking with them, ang laging challenge is, ano ba yung pwede mong i-disclose na mga information that would actually help them. So, yung mga ganong bagay, I would say being able to adapt faster since we live in a very fast-paced environment. And of course, not all the time you will be in good faith. Laging may mga instances na marami magiging problems and of course, at the end of the day, you will have to learn with it, to deal with it. Kasi it's part of, for me, one recipe of being in this job is you have to be resilient kasi marami kang pagdadaanan, makakausap, mangyayari sa environment mo na you just have to accept that it's part of the job.
Ayun, Earl. So, malipat naman tayo sa ibang topic. Kasi, diba, isa sa mga issue ng offices ngayon is yung gender ratio. from female to male. As a young female professional, can you share us your experiences working around like male-dominated workspaces?
Okay, of course, kahit saan namang parts of the world, whether it be here in the Philippines or maybe somewhere else, especially let's say places like Washington, D.C., they always say this term, old boys club. Kasi mahirap talaga infiltrate yung isang organizations, especially even in the Philippines now, maraming university, merong mga fraternity, brotherhood na nag-extend from university up to work environment. And syempre, when you're dealing with those kind of people, talaga ang preferred nila, dapat kilala nila, brad na nila. But then again, it's a good thing that, let's say, government, for one, is starting to acknowledge merit rather than anything else. So, being here in DTI, talaga isa sa wino-work on din ng department ay really this competency profiling where ina-identify anong skills ba yung necessary sa isang position. So, you will not just based a profession or a promotion on seniority or other factors. So, it will really be based on the skills and capacities of a certain individual.
So, Earl, down to our last question for this segment. Ano naman yung advice mo sa young women in Makati para ma-navigate nila yung corporate world like you do now?
I'd say it's not an easy road. Definitely, it will take some time kasi pagpasok mo sa Makati is like a big jungle, I would say. And there are a lot of predators here. Predators sa work, meaning they will really intimidate you or they will also make you feel that marami ka pang hindi alam. So it will always be a challenge of proving them otherwise. So pero ako naman, in my experience, I was lucky enough because I was surrounded by seniors who actually believed in me prior to knowing my skills and capacities. Pero in most cases, that's not the case. So talagang you really have to prove your worth. Pero it's also important that you always do that with determination and knowing that gusto mo talaga yung ginagawa mo. Kasi if you don't like what you do, it will also be difficult in the long run.
Thank you so much, Earl. Grabe, first segment pa lang yan, but we have learned a lot already. So stay tuned because we've prepared more for you guys here in Makati Girls Club.
Keep it on repeat. Testify the passion. Loving is the passion.
And now it's time to shift gears and get real with money matters. We'll be discussing everything from financial literacy to budgeting tips and tricks for managing your finances like a boss. Syempre kanina napag-usapan natin yung trabaho, ngayon naman pag-uusapan natin kung paano nga ba natin mamamanage yung income naman natin. We know that navigating the financial world can feel intimidating, especially when you're just starting out. But trust us, it doesn't have to be. Kaya naman, kasama pa rin natin si Earl to give us some tips. So, first question, Earl. How can we negotiate our salaries if na-experience mo na mag-negotiate ng salaries mo sa company?
Actually, my first salary is, you can consider it quite high. Kasi hindi siya yung tech level na salary. It's actually a mid-level salary. Pero yun nga, it entails kasi that kind of salary because the demands of the job is also high at the same time. Pero in terms of really negotiating about it, so I started basically in a mid-level position with a mid-level salary. Pero not even 1 year to the job, I was OIC for about 3 months. So after gaining that experiences, I was able to find that right moment to think na, okay, pabigat yung role pero andun pa yung salary. So I have to negotiate. And because I know, and you will feel it guys, that you deserve more from what they are giving, they are actually giving you. So what I did was, after that, when our head came in, so I started to renegotiate my salary in a way na presenting that eto na, nagbago na yung demands ng job. So, from being a mid-level, from getting a mid-level salary, I now get a senior level salary. And if you will take a look at it in corporate world, it's about a level na rin siguro of a manager, I would say.
Aside sa workload na nabanggit mo, Earl, what other things prompted you to negotiate your salary?
Okay, so first, I would say living in Makati. Because living in Makati is very expensive. So, I would say, yung house expenses ko pa lang is about 10,000 pa na a month. So, hindi possible na for you to really get a low paying salary kasi you wouldn't be able to sustain your job. And of course, I'm also the breadwinner of my family. So, I have to negotiate a salary that would still allow me to live a happy life while being able to provide for my family.
Ito naman, Earl, paano mo naman binabudget yung income mo ngayon? Like, paano mo siya dinidivide sa lahat ng bagay na kailangan mong i-support?
Okay, so usually now, with my salary, half of it is for my family. So that goes for food, bills, and everything under the sun na my family needs, their medication. And then the half of that will be for myself. So that would include my living expenses, of course, my work expenses, because you basically eat sa office from, madalas given the difficulty of our job, from breakfast to dinner, nasa office ka, minsan nga always after pa. So that's a huge chunk of it. And of course, still having that budget naman to be happy, like going out on Friday. So dapat kasama yun sa mga consideration whenever you're renegotiating for a salary.
With that, Earl, I think okay na okay kang mag-save ng money kasi ang galing mong mag-budget. So, eto naman, Earl, ano naman yung mga saving tips na pwede mo ibigay sa young women na starting pa lang sa kanilang career?
Okay. When I was starting, kasi nga, as I mentioned, nag-start ako because my family also needs me to work na. Because no one supports us when the time that I started. Kaya, I'm really the breadwinner. Pero for those young girls na starting pa lang, it would really depend kasi kung ano ba yung purpose mo for working. Mine kasi, it's really to provide for my family. So, halos maliit lang yung savings ko kasi nga most of my salary, I will give it to them. Pero if you're just naman a young working professional na hindi naman kayo obliged magbigay, I would say always keep at least 20 to 30% of your monthly earnings to a bank or somewhere, invest it somewhere para mafe-feel mo naman na yung pagod mo may naiipon ka, and after a year maybe kung maganda yung job mo, you can actually buy a car, diba?
Thank you, Earl. So, sa ating mga listener, tama na yung kaka-deserve nyo yan, ah. That's a wrap on Money Matters. We hope like Earl, you're feeling empowered to take control of your finances and build a brighter financial future. From career to finances, let's now take some time for ourselves with Girl Talk. We'll be sharing tips and advice on prioritizing your well-being, so stick around. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Girl Talk, where we'll let our hair down and get real about the things that matter most to young women in Makati. Today, we're diving into the ever-relevant topic of work-life balance. Kanina nga, Earl, napag-usapan natin yung napakadami mong responsibilities sa trabaho. Dagdag mo pa yung effort na magplano ng budget at mag-manage ng savings. Sa napaka-busy mong work week, gusto ko naman malaman, ano yung mga biggest challenges mo para mag-maintain ng work-life balance?
I would say, ang biggest challenge ko is actually my roles sa work. Kasi as much as I want to have an everyday work-life balance for myself, you know that basically an 8 to 5 thing, then 5 I'm out of this, guys. Pero that's not my case. So yun nga, as I mentioned, higher salary entail higher responsibility. So the moment I said yes to a higher salary also means that I am also accepting much more job into my plate. So that, as I mentioned, that includes executive support. So basically, working as a communication specialist for the secretary is a very demanding job because you really have to keep up with her. So my roles and my duties depends on her very hectic schedule. So kapag hectic talaga yung schedule niya, as much as I want to get enough rest and as much as I want to have a work-life balance, talagang your responsibility would not allow you to do so.
Given that roles nga na binabanggit mo, Earl, syempre napakabigat nga naman talaga. Paano mo naman maintain yung relationships mo with friends, family, and significant others while pursuing your career goals? Pero una sa lahat, Earl, may significant others ka ba?
Well, sa sobrang nakakapagod at demanding ng trabaho na to, wala.
Oh, so for sale siya, guys. Charot. Oh, so meron pa rin namang mga friends and family, Earl. So let's focus on those. Paano mo maintain yung relationships with them?
Okay, so kagaya nga na nabanggit mo, halos magkasama tayo 24/7. So, sobrang demanding ng job natin. To be honest, I rarely see my friends. Pero whenever I do, for example, just one instance, if you can remember, I took a break parang a month ago. Kasi nga, my friends, I have this FA friend who visited me here in Makati. Imagine that, siya yung taga-ibang bansa, siya pa yung dumayo dito. Just to be with me, given how hectic my schedule is. So, yung ganon. You treasure that, tawag dito, it doesn't have to be an everyday bonding or a very frequent bonding. Kasi talagang I always want to make sure that I keep low maintenance friendships for my friends outside. My friends who have been there with me for a long time, they're all very low maintenance friends. We don't have to see each other every day. We don't chat every day, but the connection is there. As for my family, given the demands of the job, bihira rin talaga ako makauwi. But whenever I do, talagang I spend it going out. So, lumalabas kami, we eat together, we go to mass. Ayun, I still try to talk with them sa chat if time permits. So, it's basically staying connected pa rin naman kahit gaano ka man ka-busy.
Grabe, ang hirap talaga isingit, no? Paano mo naman minamanage yung guilt mo whenever nafe-feel mo na may isang aspect sa life mo na hindi mo na kayang i-balance with work?
I would say, feeling ko mas mag-a-apply yan sa family. Kasi, before landing this job, syempre, tumapat yung college days ko, pandemic, so nasa bahay lang ako most of the time. So, sanay na yung family ko with my presence. Pero given this role, biglang dati-rate when I was in my previous position, umuwi pa ako every week. Ngayon, once a month na lang. So, that was a big adjustment for them. Pero, ngayon, iniisip ko, this is what matters. Kasi, if I will not perform this role, it will also be quite a challenge for us since I'm providing for the family. So more of knowing your priorities. So, alam mo naman na this job is your priority. So, trying to stay calm and collected, although it's not that easy, pero it's really a key ingredient eh. So, every time na napapagod ka, just rest, and then collect yourself again, stand up, because, again, it's another day.
Grabe, miss yata talaga yung work-life balance. Pero tinatry namin ni Earl, guys. Kapit lang, kaya natin to. Ito naman, Earl, ano namang advice yung mabibigay mo sa young women struggling na mahanap yung balance sa work nila and sa personal lives?
I think ang best way now is really do one thing at a time. Siguro, kung may ibibigay man akong payo sa younger self ko, that would be it. Kasi, kagaya ngayon, we're in our point dito sa buhay natin na gusto natin ng para tayong may hinahabol na timeline because we're not getting any younger. Ang dami mong gustong ma-achieve in a short span of time. And you always feel like, well, social media, for one, is actually giving you this kind of pressure eh. So, nakikita mo where everybody is at their moment in time. In this lifetime, makikita mo, yung iba patapos na ng grad school, yung iba they're already working abroad. So, hindi mo mapipigilang ma-feel na, wait lang, nababalance ko ba? Kasi makikita mo yung iba mong work, dati mong blockmates na nag-e-enjoy lang sa life while you, grabe, sobra kang stress. But then again, you're living in a different, type of setting eh. And again, iba-iba din naman yung work nyo. So, it's important to realize na the moment kasi that you accept that job, dapat alam mo your responsibility. So, that includes ano ba dapat yung time na may ibigay mo lang sa sarili mo and yung time mo for work. So, if kaya, just do one thing at a time. You don't have to juggle both. So, give your weekdays to work and your weekends to yourself.
Very well said, Earl. I hope our listeners are feeling recharged and ready to take on the rest of their week. We promise you a jam-packed episode and surely this week's Makati Girls Club delivered. Ang tugon?
Slay girls!
Grabe the energy. Alam mo, Earl, dahil sa mga topic natin today, nafe-feel ko na rin yung energy ng ating listeners. Parang ready na for wins and breakthroughs sa kanilang mga careers. Siyempre, sure yan kasi looking back sa ating usapan today, nakaka-inspire yung journey mo, Earl, as a communication professional. Ang encouraging din ng mga tips mo on budgeting and saving. Sana matutunan din namin yan ng ating mga listeners. Most importantly, although I know challenging, I hope like Earl, magkaroon tayo ng chance magpahinga despite our schedules. So ayun Earl, before we let you go, we have one last question for you. We will ask our listeners to complete this sentence in every episode and we would like you to do the same. Can you complete the sentence? As a young professional, I can.
Okay. So as a young professional, I can have power over my own choices.
Beautifully said. Such an empowering message. Now we want to hear from you, our listeners. Head over to the comment section and tell us how you would complete the sentence. As a young professional, I can. We're so eager to hear your thoughts. We'll be sharing our favorites on air next week and giving a shout out. So don't be shy and let your voices be heard. And that's it for this week's Makati Girls Club. Thank you for tuning in, for sharing your Saturday evening with us, and for being a part of this incredible community. Remember, you are strong, you are beautiful, and you are capable of achieving amazing things. Keep chasing those dreams, keep supporting each other, and keep making Makati your own. Again, this is Ira, sending you all my love and positive vibes. Have a fantastic week ahead, and I can't wait to connect with you again next Saturday.